Alright guys, so we are, well, it's the next morning after we got a bunch of snow. This is my loquat in my front yard. I've got a few different varieties grafted on here. You can see it's all kind of, you know, getting weighted down on snow. Last time it got real bad like this, the trunk cracked in half. So I've got to make sure that I'm not letting snow and ice build up too much on it. Right here I've got these wrapped up like little cocoons. These are special varieties that I'm trying to make sure that they hold up to their fruit. You can see all the icicles here where all the moisture is, you know, melting off. What I haven't really ever showed you guys was my palm trees, my little small yard here, the front yard. As I trudge through I think it's around 6 inches or so of snow. This tree I planted, I think about 3 years ago. Real pretty. I think it's a windmill palm, and I chose this at the at Lowe's because it had such a huge, thick trunk. Usually, when you get these, they're not super thick, but I noticed that even as a small tree. I mean, I planted it as a 3-gallon. Even as a small tree, it had a pretty good sized trunk, and it's grown pretty quickly, I'd say. I mean, it's probably, if you count the fronds, it's probably like 10 feet tall now, something like that. Here's a really long, my older palm, planted, I don't know, at least 15 years ago or something like that. This is supposed to be a nainital palm I got from Pungo Palms, Ralph Denton, out of Pungo Palms. And when he gave it to me a long time ago, he said it was that, but I'm really not a palm guy. I do love them, but I know some of you guys can tell from the fronds and how everything looks, maybe even the way the the trunk looks, and really can't get too close to it right now, but it has grown, shot up. It's about as taller than the house there. Sure is windy. A lot of times I'm afraid it's gonna get blown over. Hopefully it doesn't ever do that. I'm gonna work on getting this gate open so we can look in the back at the citrus. Look at this poor loquat. This is the Perlucci loquat. I just left it out here, the graft. Just 1 second, guys. Alright, so we made it back to the backyard. Here's my poor little classic Mini Cooper, kind of covered in snow here. But just kind of panning around. There's the pomegranate tree, and this is my little construction site, which I keep not getting completed because of a bunch of different things that keep popping up. Here's one of those special pineapple guavas, and I've got to be careful where I'm walking because I might crush little pots that are here. I can't tell. It's like a minefield of pots. This is a Sansit Chang in a pot that I've left out. A bunch of different little windmill palms, seedlings. Let's check out the citrus guys. This is the Clem times Tri times Clem, and I didn't harvest all the fruit, but the good news is the temperature is not really that far below freezing, so it's not that big of a worry. The leaves don't look happy though. We can tell if it's got all the ice on it, it's not going to be that happy. This is the dragon lime, and most of you guys have seen all the trees already, but just kind of wanted to show you what it's looking like right now. Everything looks pretty unhappy, but you know, these are the survivors, so I'm not really worried about them, and I wouldn't be really worried about them unless we get down to the really low teens. Let's kind of keep walking around. Now here's, I can see ahead of me, oh, let's look over here first. I got one little yuzu right there. I think I picked most of the fruit. There's some glens up there I can see. Most all the yuzus are gone. I've picked them. Kids are over there across the water playing in the snow. But this is the swingle. I got the sudachi, and this is my one surviving Ichang papita, which is different than my original one. But I was looking at my original one, and there may be some hope. I see right at the graft union there's a little bit of green, so I'm hopeful for that. We're going to continue. This is the tiny dragon variety of flying dragon, and this is a Pakistani mulberry, which I grafted out in the yard. I'm not really sure how hardy they are, but we're about to find out. Now this is what becomes a problem, is when we have a lot of snow on the pineapple guavas, because they have brittle wood, and they will snap easy, and I'm afraid maybe that might have happened already, but I'm gonna come back and shake all this off, the snow, before it ices up tonight and it really gets weighted down. You can tell everything is pretty darn frozen right now. This is there's another pineapple guava here. That's one of my select seedlings. This makes nice sweet pineapple guavas, and it's pretty much self-fertile. This one here is let's go look at the tag. This is the, gracious, I should remember these by now, but you know, so I'm just hard to keep up. Russian number 8 Solavatsky pomegranate, and just various seedlings, and there's a little fig tree right here. I get really concerned sometimes when we get super cold, the water will freeze, and that's when it's becomes really pretty like stressful. That's when it becomes kind of stressful for me. So let's move along. Let's look at the other citrus trees. This laying down on its side is a bunch of Thomasville citron squat seedlings. And then I've got the Demisili, the Opinagami, I've got the Karaji here, Clemuse 2-2, Bumper. This is I forgot about this one. It made fruit last year. And let's read the tag. Here it is. This is yuzu times orange. Right here, it didn't make any fruit last year. I mean, no, it made fruit last year, I believe, and then it kind of is struggling. So hopefully it doesn't die back all the way this year. A lot of these trees are on flying dragon. That's why, even though a lot of these are really old, they haven't really grown much because they're on flying dragon rootstock. So it keeps them kind of dwarf. That and a really severe freeze every like 5 years cuts them all back. So it's really stayed a manageable size. There's my pomegranates. This one's leaning. It did lean last year, but I never got around to straightening it. But there's a few varieties here. They're all hanging in there. Let me show you something kind of quite scary. Is look at this. This is my yellow strawberry guava. I guess I'm just trying to test the limits of this string because I never brought it in last year, and as long as we don't get down to low teens, I won't really bring it in this year. It's pretty mature size. If you can tell, I've had it for many years, and at this point I believe it's pretty hardy. You can take it and another set of palm tree seedlings. Isn't that crazy? These poor windmills, they're in desperate need of repotting, and I've probably needed to do that since a year ago. They stayed in that same gallon pot, I guess. This is like a little bit weird. I still have a ton of citrus out here, and I've just got them huddled together with some C9 lights for some of the more tender ones. Everything else I've just kind of left out, and it's kind of waiting on for me to get the greenhouse addition done. This is a red strawberry guava that looks pretty terrible because I'm not really putting a lot of effort into keeping it from getting down below freezing or experiencing freezing weather. But more trees out here, and these are some lamandarin. I believe these are lamandarin seedlings, and more palms. These are loquat rootstocks. But you know, just give you another quick overview of what's going on here. And getting snow is not really an issue. It's the weight on certain trees which will break the branches, and like namely pineapple, guava, loquat, and the temperatures. So low temperatures is really disastrous. But just a quick update, and back in here, let's take a look. Let's take a look what a properly filled greenhouse looks like. Properly filled greenhouse is one that you can't even walk in. So I've got everything super packed in here, and there's literally not even a path for me to walk in. So when we get to cold temps like this and I don't have enough room, I just pack everything in, and once we get warm enough or above freezing, a lot of the stuff like this citrus can come back out and allow me to walk in there and water everything. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching this little snow update, and I'll see you around. Guys, take care.